them come. This is their fate.
All right. All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay. Just think of gunshot noises when you hear that name, Deontay. Anyways, this is the House of Wolves podcast. I'm your host. Here with my friends, Jalen and Josh. Today we got a few topics for y'all, a lot of topics, but we're going to start off with some interesting one today. But before we get started, Josh or Jalen, how you guys been doing? Let them know what y'all been playing, how the week been, where you at right now in life.
Been a pretty chill week for me. It's getting real cold out here. I don't know about y'all. We probably not gonna get no snow, but the temperature's been dropping a lot. But I don't know. It's Christmas season. Put our tree up. Starting shopping and thinking about what we gonna do for actual Christmas. They usually have like a couple good like events or like festivals or stuff downtown, but we got to see if that's actually going to be on our agenda this year. What else? Played a few games. I guess a lot came out in the last week or so. But I haven't got around to all the new stuff. But played a little bit of Callisto Protocol, and I guess another game on our list, Fortnite. Doing my last bit of cleanup. They had that little end of season event. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. About you, Jalen?
Shoot, for me, everything been straight. Same old. I'm trying to think, what game have I been playing?
Supposed to be playing Sonic Frontiers.
Overwatch.
Supposed to be.
Oh yeah, man. How could I forget?
Oh yeah, we've been playing Overwatch too. I forgot about that. We actually had a lot of time on Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch definitely been getting a whole lot of time. Definitely been playing Sonic Frontiers. I'm enjoying it. I don't remember what I had said about it last time, but I think I'm the furthest out of everybody on here. Deontay tried to come at me last time because I ain't a true Sonic fan, but
I was trying to make sure you still had your Sonic card. I don't know, man.
He just trying to hold me accountable for the things I say, so that's a good quality in a friend, I think. Not just fine, but yeah, Sonic Frontiers, that's smooth. I don't think I'm done with the first island. I'm still enjoying it and everything. So that, and like I said, Overwatch, trying to catch Josh. He's 14 hours ahead. So I'm like waking up early to play Overwatch here. Trying to catch him late at night to play Overwatch. But that's really about it. Crisis Core supposed to be coming out soon. Hopefully we cop that. So we'll see.
When that's supposed to come out?
But is it the 13th
or 11th?
Is it an actual like place? Is it an actual full-fledged game or no? Because I never found any coverage, so I'm trying to figure out if it's like the next part or like is it like some subpart DLC? I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure.
Oh no! If we want to talk about that, yeah, it's a remake of a PSP game. They took the old combat system from the PSP game because it was super like basic and replaced it with the Final Fantasy VII remake combat and up the graphics to look close to Final Fantasy VII. But that's pretty much it. It's the same story. It's kind of like a prequel to the other game, and obviously they want you to play them all. So when the next part come out, you all caught up on the story.
Oh my goodness! I didn't even think it was that big of a.
So you know,
I didn't think it was that big of a release. I thought it was like some some garbage.
It
How
ain't
much
that
is it?
big. I mean, like you said, it
69.99?
ain't gonna cover
Is it 59.99?
50, 50,
50?
49.99.
Uh,
So it's giving very much remake and stuff. But I mean, Square Enix, they finna, we need to get in your pockets, bro. We finna do bare minimum and want the maximum.
yeah,
They
but
better
yeah.
than Nintendo though.
I mean,
They
it's
better
like
than
at least they
Nintendo.
waited from PS2 era to now. They're not trying to remake Last of Us. They're not trying to do a PS3, PS4 game, PS5 game, or same game. So nah. I get it, but okay. That might be something I pick up because I really liked the combat in Final Fantasy VII. And I guess I'm gonna play the story anyway because I wasn't really interested in the story of remake, but it might be something that I pick up because I just like the combat a lot. So cool. Well, what I've been playing is a whole lot of Callisto Protocol, and we're gonna be talking about that. Been playing a lot of Overwatch too. I've been playing a lot of just those two games. I mean, I've been playing God of War off and on. I beat it already. I'm just playing it some more, which we're gonna talk about that as well. But yeah, I mean, I've really been playing a lot of Callisto. Like halfway through the game already. It came out Friday, um, and I've been quite enjoying it. But we're gonna talk about it too. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Family's good, eating good. Can't wait for Christmas. Put the tree up, decking the halls with flowers of holly, or well, I don't even know how I go, but we decking halls. I guess just enjoying ourselves. Um, my stepmom's up here, so we was able to go out and hang out and do some grown up activities for once. But yeah, just been good. Feeling reinvigorated and ready to play some more Callisto after this podcast is over. But yeah, that's me.
No, we playing Overwatch.
She always try to slide in with the Overwatch. We was busting heads last night with him. Me and Jayla had like 30. He had like a 34 piece or something like that. With Ash. But yeah. Definitely was had some fun playing Overwatch, but I don't know, man. We'll see. But anyways, moving into the topics. The first one I wanted to start off with because it's right on the top of my list, and it's probably something all of maybe you guys be interested in, but I'm pretty sure there's a large mass of you out there that very much so are. Fortnite. Our our correspondent Josh recently had some updates for us on Fortnite, so I was like, yeah, why not talk about it? So I did some research, I did a little reading, and I see that they are doing a lot of changes again. So every time this happens, we're gonna bring back Josh to kind of give us his Fortnite update. But do you want me to read off some of the stuff that's visually happening, or you kind of want to just take over?
I mean, I guess I can go and then get your thoughts on,
Yeah.
I guess, what you think is important from
Yeah.
your perspective. Because, I mean, y'all know me. I like to talk about Fortnite. I enjoy it, but I know it's not really like the game for everybody. But for me, the constant updates is just like what nobody else is really doing in Battle Royale space. So they just started their new season today, and with this update, it's a new map, of course. But the biggest thing that I saw was like it's moving from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. So I'm playing it. I got to play a little bit before we start recording podcasts. Graphically, it looks a lot better. The game, I think the game always looked good, but this time you can see that they're really pushing like the global illumination, the shadows are all higher quality. The game already ran at a high frame rate on the next gen consoles, but it's still like it looks a lot better. It still runs pretty good. All the characters and everything look higher resolution as well. So that's what I'm excited about most with this update because Unreal Engine 5, I think this is like the first like full Unreal Engine 5 game. I know the Matrix came out and it was just a demo, but this is like a actual game you can like spend money on. And I mean, so far it looks good. I'm excited to see what they do with it because Unreal Engine 5 seems like a really good engine to like push a lot of these new features. And we talked about it with Callisto Protocol that I don't think there's anything wrong with Unreal Engine 4, but if there's a way to like get those really good graphical features and things like that with less work on the developers, or at least like more uh, a smoother experience from them, then that's overall good. Um, yeah, what else did I say they had? Yeah, they got some more features like movement, spin, improve. Like you can climb and sprint in the last update, but now it's like more automatic and like you can jump over like anything just by sprinting at it without pressing a button. They got some weapons. They got first person ADSs. So people who don't really want the third person shooting, it's more you got the option to use the first person option. More melee weapons. They got like crazy like big effects. They can jump up super high in the air and do like a big Titan smash. And there was one more that I had mentioned about that. Perks. I haven't been able to use them yet because I don't understand how they're implemented, but it seems to be so just like the Call of Duty, you can equip perks, carry more ammo, more grenades, blah 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 type deal. But in Battle Royale, you can select what perk you want, but at some point in the game, it's going to unlock the ability to go to a station and grab the perk. So it's more like how Warzone used to do it, where you have your loadout, but you got to call in or you got to pick up the supply crate to get your loadout. So these perks, I think, at some point, I haven't been able to use it myself, so I don't know how good they are. But I think this is a good change in the battle royale space because it gives you more personal, I guess, customization with how you want to play it instead of it just being, completely random. We'll
My
see how
whole
the balance
thing.
is and stuff. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I was looking at that too, and I was like, I thought that was pretty cool. Like the one where you get like super jump. There was quite a few that I've seen that I was reading that they were just talking about that, and they
Mhm.
actually added new weapons. I'm not sure how often they add weapons. I know they have specialty weapons, and then they have the standard weapons to be on the ground. Like these are look like the ones that are on the ground. Like they added a new shotgun, new rifle, auto shotgun, a new assault rifle, a new SMG, a tactical pistol. Maybe that's something they always do, but to me, when I play that game again, I've seen the same weapons I used to play with all the time. Um, and then there is the whole perk system, like I said, like you said, was that I thought was really cool. Like you get some really cool different types of perks. So, um, yeah, my biggest thing has always been animation in this game. I don't like the animation. Hopefully they update the animation. I mean, that's the only thing I'm gonna turn it on and look at it. And if they really didn't do much to change how the game animated, then I'm probably still not gonna play it. But um, it doesn't seem like a bad. It's not like I said. It seemed like a really big update. And that's cool. I wonder what the manpower was like to actually get this done because they're literally taking a game and moving it to a different engine that's been popular and big as it is. To do that and seamlessly do it, seems like a big undertaking when you can't even get crossplay. I mean, cross save on the other one. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously they're doing something much better. So all that type of stuff, like the big, huge updates and the whole game changing updates. I always think that's really cool. The physics on the vehicle looks a lot better, like a lot more tuned. The running animation looks a little bit better. I don't know why they feel more grounded in this world, but they look like they're a little bit more grounded and not floaty. I hate the floatiness of the Fortnite. But if it's still the same, obviously they want to keep the people happy that play this game often. They're not going to change too much. More than likely, it's probably going to play the same though. But I mean, I'm just looking for those types of updates, and it looked like their lighting system and everything makes everything just feel a little bit more grounded and not just floating objects. Everything looks like it actually has a space in the world, and that's what global illumination will do for you. So, I'm interested in just running around it, playing again, and seeing if it's something that's going to really pique my interest. Nah, 8 times out of 10 it's not, but I'm gonna give it a shot again anyway. There is a lot of mashups of different cultures and games and all that stuff, and this is the only game you can really play like that. So I do give it its kudos there for that. And a lot of people like it, so it's not for everybody, but a lot of people do like this. So they're feeding that audience, and they're gonna be around for a while. So they're not of the cloth of a PUBG at all. They're very, very much so keep with the times, keep updating, keep innovating, and as long as you do that, you can stay on top. A lot of the stuff that they're doing is concerning to a lot of the legacy stuff. So I was reading about their legacy plan, and it basically was like, listen, we got to keep moving forward. We can't have our game not be secure, not be this, not be that. And I don't really hear much about Fortnite cheaters, which is interesting. But maybe because I don't play it, but I don't hear much about it. But anyways, they are pushing to make people have to have Windows 10 or newer to play it on PC, or you can play it through NVIDIA's GeForce Now. That's all they said. That's kind of their backlog, that legacy support, because they're just not going to. You can still play it, but it's not going to be officially supported. And that's what they were kind of insinuating, that if you want to be officially supported, you might want to play on GeForce Now. So yeah, I mean, the updates look cool for this stuff to still be running well on consoles and things like that. 60 FPS with all these features tells me that I'm really excited for what the engine can do for games that I'm truly anticipating. So, but yeah, I'm downloading now. Got a minute left, and once I finish, and we're finished with the pod, I'll play for a little bit and see what I like about it. But yeah, anything else you want to add for the Fortnite Chapter 4, Season 1 update?
No,
better than Apex,
probably have
that's
more.
for sure. That is.
I mean,
100%.
I haven't played Apex in like 2 seasons, but I've seen a lot of people echo the same thing.
Update wise,
yeah,
like, not the game itself, but the update wise, like what they do for updates and what Apex do for updates. It's like blows it out the water every time. So, yeah. So I think for sure they are hitting all the right things and keeping their fan base and their player base happy. So yeah, not much you could complain about, man. These guys are good. They're good. That's all you can say. What about you, Jalen? Anything piqued your interest about Fortnite, or any praise you want to provide, or any slander? We always here for the Fortnite slander as well.
I got y'all.
Sound like Fortnite doing everything they need to do so your kids start playing when they become able to play video games, bro. They ain't gonna be playing Apex, they're gonna be playing Fortnite, just like you want it.
Just like they want it.
Get the got boys from what is it? My Hero coming out.
My Hero
Academia.
Oh yeah. They coming in the game. Yeah, I seen that.
I don't know the characters. I know All Might is coming, and then the green hair dude or green clothes. Yeah.
But I think I seen a Witcher. I thought he was already in the game. Is he not?
Yeah, he's part of the battle pass.
Okay. I seen not Geralt, not the Witcher, but Geralt, and I seen Doom. Man, what's his name? Doom guy.
Doom.
I don't think he got a name. I think it's just Doom guy. And
Doom, bro.
yeah, I seen like some of the areas, the new areas called like the Frenzy Fields, Brutal Bastion, Anvil Square, the Citadel. They got the Citadel on this month. But yeah.
It's
We're
the
def-
Citadel. What's the Citadel?
the Citadel is like a capital, but it's like a it's like
It's
a
just
certain
points of interest.
yeah,
Like,
but those are like points
Apex
of
is
interest
different
on the
areas.
map. But you're asking for a definition of what a Citadel is, right? That's what you're trying to ask.
No, I ain't gonna lie because of like Fortnite nature and stuff like that. When you said Citadel, the first thing I thought about was like Mass Effect. So I
Oh,
thought they had some
No,
like
it's just like a castle area.
yeah, a fortress or
like
something,
Yeah,
Tilted
high
Towers.
ground. Yeah,
yeah. So instead of tilted towers, you go into a castle.
yeah.
No, okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out, seeing how I got my Goku skin, so I'm about to be on there with my
Oh, you
Goku.
did get it? Yeah.
Yeah, I did get the Goku
Goku.
skin. So yeah, but okay, there it is for our Fortnite resident. Our correspondent has spoken. The chapter 4 season 1 is looking really hot. All right, moving on though. Let's talk about Callisto Protocol. This has been on a lot of people's minds, and it's been a topic of conversation. It's the 4th. It came out on the 2nd, and for some reason, people are acting like it's trash. I think it is like the perfect storm that it's occurring with Callisto. It come after a very highly anticipated game with high expectations, and this game also had those higher expectations. People are coming from a level of game that they're not normally used to. Say, for instance, the biggest release recently was Gotham Knights. Going to Callisto Protocol, you'll probably get different praise. But going from God of War to Callisto Protocol, you're going from up here to down here to reality. It kind of feels strange. I think that's why a lot of people are bashing it in the way that they are. In my opinion, I am enjoying Callisto Protocol just as much as I did God of War. I think graphically this game looks better. Like they actually have next gen features, ray tracing. They actually have volumetric lighting. They actually have things that you're supposed to have in the bigger releases. God of War is a very pretty PS4 Pro game. That is it. It is not next gen. It's nothing. Callisto Protocol is the next gen game. It is Unreal Engine 4, but it has the things that are meant to be considered next gen. It has the ray tracing. It has those things. It has like it has the stuff that you're supposed to have in the next gen game. And
Yeah.
I feel like people are harshly criticizing it due to I just feel like people wanted it not to be good. I don't know. Or people feel like it can't be a mid-tier game. It either have to be great or it's bad. And that's just not true. To me, Callisto Protocol, I am halfway through the game and it has given me no reason to feel like this game should be less than a 9 out of 10. Like, for real. Like, graphically, soundscape, the mechanics, the interest in the intensity. It's not scary. I can give you that. It's not a scary game, but it does have moments. It has sequences, and it does have an eerie feel. So they have captured the feel. Maybe they didn't capture all the way of being haunted or
Yeah, it's not scary, but it is tense. And I think that's what a lot of people don't, for some reason, understand about some horror games. Because, like, a lot of people are going to compare this to Dead Space. And, like, I was talking to you earlier about this. Is like, when Dead Space came out, a lot of people enjoyed it, but they complained that it's not, like, creepy. Because realistically, it's not creepy. Like, it's space zombies.
Yeah.
And zombies are not really scary, or space aliens are not really scary because
Right.
I mean it's stuff that you've seen before, and it's more about their how to put it. Because when I was playing Callisto Protocol today, like it's not scary, but I know that they're gonna spawn the enemy behind me at some point, so I'm always like tense about
Yeah.
ready to fight, and that's kind of what the game is. It's not gonna give me nightmares, or it's not gonna, stuff like Bloodborne. It's not gonna. I mean, it is gonna gross you out because of all the blood, but it's not, you know, psychological.
Yeah.
It's monsters on the screen trying to kill you, and you trying to survive.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. It's like it falls right into the Resident Evil games for me. Like, I don't find them particularly scary. I find them to be survival horror. So I have never been scared of a game from that camp ever. Like, not even
Yeah,
Resident Evil 1, 2, not 3. I mean, I only played Resident Evil 1. I didn't play I played the 2 remake, but that's not the same. But and then I played 4. I bought 3 remake, but I never played it. And then I played 5, 6, and I just played 7, and then I played Village. None of those games to me were scary. They were intense moments where you had to outthink your opponent and like survive, but they weren't as in a sense scary. The scariest game I ever played has to be psychological horror, and that's Silent Hill and things like that. Even Evil Within was a little bit more above that because it was like tripping out with his brain. Like, he didn't know what was happening to him. So those things had more horror or scary moments than others. But for this game to be being downplayed as trash, as garbage, as
yeah.
bad, is like so egregious to me. Like, for real. Like,
5 out of 10 on GameSpot.
like bro, these are I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, and these people are like, they make me feel like they're just not capable of actually playing games. Like, not you're really understanding that a game isn't meant to adapt to the player. It's meant for you to adapt to the game. Like, that concept is falling on deaf ears or something like that. It feels as if
Yeah,
they don't really understand that you're not supposed to be handheld throughout the entirety of a game. You adapt to it. Like, did you not play Elden Ring? Like, I just don't get it. Like, obviously, there's a lot of options, and people don't feel like being shoved down into a scenario where they feel like they don't have the tools or necessary ability to defend themselves or fight through. But in no way, shape, or form does Callisto Protocol ever make you feel like you're not strong enough. All they do is they require you to be a little bit better at your taking on the situation. And they have saves where you're not wasting thousands and thousands of hours backtracking. So it's like autosave.
yeah.
Like,
The
you don't even
checkpoints
have
are
to
pretty
go to the
good.
save stations. So what are they talking
Yeah,
about? I'm just so confused on this the amount of frustration people are portraying from this, or like stating from this game, because it makes no sense. And I'm glad I still bought it, because I would have literally let them deter me from playing this game, and it's actually a really good game. And because of this weird, I don't know. I honestly think it is coming from like the God of War effect. I think the God of War effect is causing people to lose their minds and think that these games should be of that quality, that level, of that scripting everywhere you go. And I'm just like, no. First, that's a no. Secondly, what was the last horror game that was really outstanding? Like, any game that was like truly that we can even put this up against. I think
I don't
people,
know, because I thought a lot of people were not like, they enjoy Resident Evil 8, but it was not like their favorite.
nah,
Resident Evil 3, people were not happy with. Resident Evil 2 remake, people liked. I think.
the best
Um,
press that the Village got was about the old girl and how everybody wanted a stallion. That was it. That was the best press that they got from that game. It wasn't about how scary it was or how interesting it was. And then the DLC came out and it was flat. It fell flat because nobody liked it. So I just don't. I really don't understand what they're comparing it to. Nor do I I understand people having like a bias because of Dead Space, the original. I don't really think them people play Dead Space. I don't think them people played a game where you don't talk and you just get talked to. Like at least this individual has
Yeah.
character. He has the ability to say something, and you're pushing through a scenario. Man, yeah, he's generic in certain senses, but all he is a vessel for you to understand the situation, and or you're just on with him for the journey. And I feel like I don't know what they wanted. They wanted some high quality, which it is. And that's what pisses me off too. There is high quality capturing here. There's high quality emotion being shown. It's just that they wanted it to be packaged with like some Oscar worthy story. And I'm just like, have you ever played a
Yeah,
horror
but
game?
it's a horror game. Yeah,
Yeah.
like no Resident Evil game has a good story.
None
Like,
of them. None of them.
and even of them like focusing more on story in the more recent ones, and it has better writing and it's more focused. It's like these are still stupid stories about zombies and people turning into like
Yes,
squid monsters, and it all actually makes sense.
the best
um,
thing about Resident Evil is always the environment or where you're at. That's why Village was so interesting, because the village you were at. That's why Resident Evil 4 was so interesting, because of the place you were at. It was never about the story. It was always about the understanding that you're in this crazy place that you need to escape from because everybody's a cultist or zombies, or they're just drinking the Kool-Aid and you're trying to get out of it. That's it. There was nothing about the story that made me feel like, oh, I just love this part. It was scenarios based off the situation you were put in. And Callisto Protocol has plenty of that. That is what makes me like, I'm confused. These people
yeah,
work. Yeah.
the acting is so far pretty good. Like even if the story is like not good, everybody I've met in the game has seemed like an interesting character to at least like I want to see their performance, because like
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, if this was a horror movie, everybody's gonna be like, the story's not be good, but you want to see how it plays out, like
Mm-hmm.
how people get killed, like do people betray each other, do you actually like find somebody that you like and you want to like keep them alive? Like it's not that deep. It's about survival at the end of the day. And I think like you're saying, I don't know why this game is getting all this extra slack for it. Because at bare minimal, it's a pretty decent horror game. When you compare it to Dead Space, there are some things I like more. There's some things I like less. Like I do wish the combat was just simple. Well, not say that I wish that. What I wanted was just Dead Space combat. Just give me a couple decent guns, and I'm gonna go through slowly through the game and shoot all the enemies.
Yeah.
Here they wanted to have like a more in-depth melee system and stuff. And like you're saying, I personally don't like melee-based horror games. Like what's another one? Silent Hill. Like those usually you have like a bat or something in the game because you don't have a lot of bullets.
Condemned criminal.
Yeah, and condemned and stuff like that. And like that does a good job of giving you tension. Like you really want to save your bullets because you only got 6 bullets. And I understand it. That's how a lot of horror games are made. Dead Space was a little different because it gave you not a bunch of ammo, but you had a good variety of weapons and ammo where you can choose how you want to approach it. And your melee pretty much sucks, so you have to be smart with your shot.
Yeah, you have to be smart.
Yeah.
That's where the intensity.
So if it was just that, I would have been happy. I can respect them wanting to do something different, and personally, I don't hate it. Like the dodge system is easy. Like there's nothing to complain about.
No,
as long as you hold the direction, you can't get hit. So I don't understand what the issue is. Other than like you getting beat up by 5 enemies, I'm like, at what game do you actually expect to be fighting 5 enemies at the same time? Like if this is Bayonetta, sure. Like you're not gonna go into Resident Evil 2 or even the new Resident Evil 4 and let 5 of those village people beat up on you at the same time. Like that's not.
That's why you have different things that you can do. Like there isn't. I'm playing on the hardest difficulty. There's never been a time where I felt overwhelmed, where I felt like I was like I cannot figure out of this situation. I just had to get better at what I was doing. Like that is simple enough. There is times where the camera could mess me up, but honestly, as long as you're holding a direction and you know what place your face in your it's like they can't impact you. The people were saying that it was unreliable. That is not true. Unreliable tells me that you just didn't understand what was happening or didn't see what was occurring on screen. Unreliable tells me that you didn't probably read what was what they told you. Like, you can't just dodge the same way every time. Maybe you have to go left and right. You can't just dodge the same way. But that's it. There really isn't much else to say. I just feel like it's getting a bad rep right now. I really enjoy the game. I don't really understand most of the hate, to be honest. But I understand the PC stuff is atrocious, especially when you're first
Yeah,
booting up the game, and
I would say
that is your
Xbox too, but
experience. Yeah. I don't even know how the Xbox worked, honestly. But I know the
I think
PlayStation.
the Series X was pretty close, but they have like the ray tracing bug,
Oh
and
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's kind of like
yeah.
you're paying $70 on console, and that kind of like sucks.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, same thing on PC. The PC version was cheaper than the console version, but still, like, it didn't come out in a good place, and it was able to play a bit, but they did impact the experience.
Yeah.
They, to be fair, they did come out with a day two patch to clear out most of that, I think, for most people. But yeah, you expect these games to launch in a better place.
Absolutely. And I think for them to kudos to them for fixing it day two, but it should have been day one. There is a lot of things that people are expecting from these companies. I just don't want them to be considered a bad studio because they did all the right things. They made the game. They did a lot on the soundscape. They did a lot on the environment. They did a lot to the enemy types, and graphically speaking, these things are very creepy looking, and you get so up close and personal with them that you can see all the detail in what they did. They do a great job of just making sure the fights are intense. Like, um, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that aspect of it. And I'm still gonna continue to play it, and hopefully it ends well. I don't really. I'm actually intrigued by what's happening and whether or not what's gonna solving the mystery. Maybe I am a little bit simple when it comes to that, but I don't really care because I am having fun. I just don't get the whole part of it's not enjoyable. The combat sucks. I think a lot of people are just have a very strong opinion. Talk to a lot of other people about the same opinion and kind of fostered like this weird we don't like mentality when in reality it's a really good game. So yeah, I'm gonna keep playing it, and I recommend it to anybody that wants to play it. Play it on the PS5 or the Xbox. Do not buy it on the PC right now, but the PC actually been fixed, so it's really just wherever you want to play it. So the PC, some people are still reporting that there's still stutters for them. I don't know if it's because they haven't played the game at all, or I don't know what, if you have to like reinstall it or whatever, but I know speaking to Josh, it was fixed for him and he already started the game, or at least most of it was fixed for him and he already started the game. So I'm expecting that to be the case for most. So yeah, that's all I got on Callisto. I think it's a really good game right now, and hopefully it finishes strong. But yeah, I'm loving the mechanics. I'm loving the upgrade system. I'm loving the choices, the hard choices, the low inventory space. I got to leave stuff behind. The branching paths, the exploration. I'm enjoying all of it. I really don't have a complaint right at this moment, and I'd be nitpicking if I did. And I really,
Yeah,
that would
I
be
would say,
yeah.
or actually, I guess related to this, or for you, Jalen, is there a game you remember that like didn't get good reviews, but you liked it a lot still? Because I don't know. I know Sonic Forces didn't get good reviews, but that's Jalen's favorite game.
Not Sonic Forces.
You feel me? Nah. I'm trying to think again that got the reviews.
I say less than a 7. Like it's like a 6 or or it was a 7, but people were saying like it's trash or something.
Yeah. I don't even know because outside of this, they mostly do tend to be like these obscure games, like horror games. It tends to be less popular niche titles where people will be like, nah, it's not that good. But understanding they don't understand that type of genre really well, like fighter games. Those games usually don't score well, but I can find real like strong enjoyment in it. It's always kind of it's always driven by the type of game it is. Like um, most of the time, you're going to see a story, one player driven game to get better praise than most other games. Um, then you're going to see it for like a FPS shooter, like a horror game or a platformer. Like a platformer kind of gets a separate level of praise too, because it's like this enjoyment factor for most people. They're looking for it to check a few boxes, and that's the most structured when you can put it towards Mario and kind of see what other people do. It's like they have to have like some type of grading scale to know. But if you kind of have a unique experience or a different type of experience, like Dante's Inferno, it was so close to a lot of those action games. People were like, "No, it's too close. I give it a 6." I really enjoyed Dante's Inferno, but
Yeah.
it was simply more of like they had like God of War to put it up against. So most of the time, when people are trying to mimic or create something different in that genre, that's where you usually get like these lower scores, even though the game is good. I think Callisto Protocol is seeing some of that because of Dead Space's success. But this game is top notch to me. In every
Yeah.
way, shape,
It's
or
not
form. Yeah.
Back for Blood.
No, for sure it ain't Back for Blood. Like people can find enjoyment in Back for Blood, but they never gonna compare it to Left 4. When they compare it to Left 4 Dead, that's where you get the lower scores. So that's where I see it most of the time. Um. So yeah, that's what I'll say on that. But I don't know a particular one. Maybe. Probably some JRPG, something that was like small and not really popular, but I really enjoyed.
Yeah. I know I
Yeah,
liked
like
oh my bad. I was just gonna say I like Final Fantasy 13. I didn't get good reviews when it came out, but I enjoyed it a lot. And a lot of those criticisms I think didn't last over time. Like some of them did, but a lot of them are just kind of stuff that you would expect from that type of game nowadays. But go ahead, General.
what was Final Fantasy 13 for? I had that one cross my mind, but I didn't think it was that bad. I know there's a lot of criticism behind it though.
I mean, people when it came out, reviewers complained that the story is too long, or
Linear.
yeah, the levels are too linear, the combat is too confusing, just general stuff like that. But that type of game, how to put it, like yeah,
I,
the story is slow in some parts, but a lot of the other stuff like doesn't actually impact the game negatively, in my opinion. But
yeah, IGN gave him a 8.9. I just looked it up, but I do remember hearing like a lot of criticism and stuff behind it. I think the main games that I think that I don't remember the exact scores and stuff, and like you said, like them little small JRPG type games, or not necessarily JRPG. I'd say maybe like a Namco Bandai game or something like that. Like they don't be that bad. It's just you can see where the game was like falling short. Like Namco Bandai don't be putting out no super fire games. Like they got them anime type games and stuff like that. But I think like Digimon Cyber Sleuth, the scores wasn't like the greatest. It was either a hacker's memory or the first one, but I could see what they were saying. But I don't think the game was like that bad once you could look past some of the things because of certain things you can do. So um I mean, I'm not gonna go into the detail and stuff, but there's definitely games that's like the reviews doesn't accurately describe the game, and like Deontay said, they kind of scored a little bit lower because another game did something similar in a better fashion or whatever, but it's not the same medium, if you will. Like We talking Digimon versus doing something like Pokemon. Like
Yeah.
Pokemon a lot more kid friendly than Digimon, but that's not to say that Digimon can't do better things than Pokemon did. And the game is just they comparing it to like it got the same backbone, so it has to do some of the same things as Pokemon. But
Yep, and I think that's where I kept saying that technical reviews are really more important to me now than gaming reviews. Because if I'm interested in something, 9 times out of 10 I'm going to still play it. So the reason why I didn't buy Evil West is because it's 1080p 60, and that was it. I still didn't care that people liked it or loved it. I thought it was going to be cool to play, and I didn't buy it simply because of the technical review. And I think that's where I was kind of going with my conversation last time, where technical reviews are becoming more important, at least in my eyes, and to the masses, in my opinion, to determine whether or not you're going to actually pick up something. Because really, as long as there's technically sound and doesn't have any glitches, any problems, the opinion of the game itself is subjective. Like, it's so subjective, especially when it comes to these types of games like Callisto Protocol. Even with like God of War, and that's what we're going to kind of jump into next. That game is getting mid reviews where people are saying it's not the greatest game and it's not good, and it has some issues. So, yeah, to me, I think that is kind of where we're going to end up being. It's just that people are making games, creating games, and technical reviews kind of showcase that. Now, there's a difference between a technical review and just showing that there is nothing there in the game to see, and that's why opinions are out there. They provide you the opportunity to see the game and truly hear someone talk about the features of the game without it being promotion. So there is still going to be some level of need for reviews. It's just that the technical review may start to become more important to a buyer than a actual review of the game, like someone's opinion on the game. It may become more of a back seat, because I heard people's opinions, I heard the reviews, and I was like, still might want to play it. And then I seen the technical review and I said, oh, that's the best option to play? Why not? So I swapped my Xbox One out for the PS5, and now I'm having the greatest time because that drove my decision. That was it. So I think that would be the biggest thing moving forward too. But anyways, moving on to God of War, Ragnarok. It's getting some mid reviews. People are kind of on I don't know, maybe because they're finally beating it, that people are saying that it's not great. That, God of War Ragnarok has some pacing issues. The combat isn't really upgraded enough for them. I honestly, I don't know. I mean, it's not like it's a huge audience that's saying that this game is bad, but there's people out there that are saying it's bad. So,
Yeah, I've been seeing a little bit more criticism about God of War Ragnarok that looking into it, it's the same stuff that you saying, that a lot of people were not happy with the pacing. Because I know that, I guess I don't know. I don't think it's a spoiler because it's kind of in the promotion, but you see a lot of other characters that you can play with, like Atreus. Like sometimes you'll take control of him, and his sections are pretty long. Like I know that stuff, and I think the point is like God of War, the first one, people love it for its story. I think I would personally expect the same thing from the second one. Like the main reason I'm here is the story, and the combat is okay enough that it's not like some parts are really fun, some parts, as long as it's not like too annoying, it doesn't get in the way. With the game being a lot longer, I imagine that it's just some people are just not happy with the balance between the two. if you wanted more combat and you're stuck here with a lot of story, then it might not feel like worthwhile. But I don't know. I think it's a at that point it's personal preference. Just because like the story is long or the conversations are long, I don't think that really like ruins the game. But
Yeah. Yeah, I
have you
feel
felt like the combat or anything has been too annoying or something, or you notice it's getting annoying the longer that you go?
um no, I find it quite enjoyable. I like to mix it up. Um I think
But
that
I did with the first one because I haven't played the second one. The first one, the combat got annoying, but the story, like I always wanted to see more of the story. So I don't personally understand the people who are complaining that it's like the story is too long.
yeah, I think they're saying that it's pacing, like it's like the middle portion, right? So
Mhm.
everything that is happening from the start of the game to the end of the game is, or the start and the end are great, but the middle is where people are having the concern that it was slowly paced, that there were some horrible missions, like in quests, and people didn't find enjoyment in them. Um, and they keep saying that it feels like it's unconnected. I didn't get that
Mhm.
at all. I'm rewatching someone play it, and I'm still enjoying it as if I'd never played it before, because there's moments in the game where you're just like, this is impactful. And it's not like those are far in between. They're like always happening. So, I don't know. Honestly, there is things that may have not been needed, but at the same time, the whole, the it's like the whole sum of the parts. It's like everything had a point, a reason. Everything had a, uh, uh, everything had a goal. Everything that was happening, like, all the stuff you do when you go to Asgard, it's to bring home the point that there's really not a side or something like that. It's like, I don't want to kind of go
Yeah,
into the spoiler territory, but there is plenty of stuff that happens that, yeah, you're doing certain things that you would, I guess, you're playing with Atreus and things like that. But I found Atreus combat more enjoyable at times than, it's not like they got it wrong. They didn't get the
Mhm.
combat wrong with Atreus. He doesn't feel weak. Um, so I
Yeah,
don't know.
and there's a difference between filler content and like story and character development. Like it
Yeah,
might not seem like much, but if you got something important out of that section, then that will tie into your feelings like later on in the story when that content or information becomes relevant. So it's like
yeah,
some stuff you might just have to be patient about. Like you say, going back through it, it doesn't seem out of place. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's just all expectation, like not expecting um, just all high octane battles the whole time or something. And because some parts need to be slower in order for the story to benefit for it. So
yeah. Like, yeah. I just don't. I feel like people are, and looking for something to complain about. To be honest, I'm not saying that this game is everybody has to like it, but there's plenty of things to enjoy. Certainly, being the story of redemption and like this, son and kid, it can get played out, but to experience it in this world with these characters, I don't really see it being dull. I do see in that people that are not truly immersed or feel interested in these characters, like didn't play the first one, don't really care about the journey. They just wanted to play a highly anticipated game. I can see them not being interested in dwelling off. Like, I don't expect someone that don't understand God of War to really be like held and kept throughout the entirety of the game. Like, no. Why would anybody be able to do that? Because the game is so devil in the details type that you can't really
you gotta
miss.
get invested in the game somehow.
You can't
a lot of
miss
people
a point.
can't do that.
Right. You can't miss something and expect to be feeling like, oh, I understand what's happening now and I'm invested in getting these people through the journey. And even if you just watched a recap, that ain't gonna help you. Like, you really wanted you wanted to play these games and you wanted to really understand where it came from, how the world changed, what happened, why Winter is here, and like all that stuff is just important in this world building, and that's why it feels so grand in its scale. So to lose that, to cut off some of the fat, makes it to be something that it's not. And I don't know what they were thinking when they were expecting to come in to play this game, but I was thinking more story, more characters, more developing. I think that there's plenty of room to grow within this world even more. I don't know if people are all going to enjoy the path that it seems like it's going down, but it doesn't matter to me. I enjoyed the game for what it was, and everybody has a right to an opinion, but to call it a bad game tells me that, one, you were never truly invested. Two, you don't understand you don't really understand combat. You don't really understand the concept of a game. Even if you don't enjoy the story, a game has plenty of features that will allow you to get through that. Just like anyone that hated Callisto Protocol, the reason why most people were able to get through it because of the graphics and the design of the world. They didn't like the combat. They didn't like the enemies. They didn't like that it wasn't scary or whatever the case may be. They still had some reason to kind of provide, but to say, oh, this is just a terrible game and that it should never be played, and they did a really poor job in that for one portion of the game, that means you shouldn't be reviewing games anyway, because that's like a very I don't like when reviewers provide more opinion than fact. Like, opinion that a game sucks because of the opinion that you find that this thing is the most important part of the game is like whack to me. There's enjoyment to be had in any game. It's just how you find that enjoyment, and that's why you always want to provide a opportunity for the game to be critiqued in an unbiased manner, but provide your opinion on top of that. So I don't know. Whatever the case may be, God of War is great to me. I really enjoyed it. It's a long game. It's not Persona. It's not Tales of Arise. It's not even. I play long games. This isn't a long game. This is a long game for the masses. This is a game that you probably aren't going to breeze through in a weekend, unless you're crazy and you play it all the time, like me. But you're probably going to take some couple of days to finish. And I think those days and the longness of it made people start to feel as if it's more of a chore than an actual fun experience. Because, you get interrupted by life. You can't just sit there and play the whole game. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, these opinions are being formed. And I just want to say with a caveat, or at least state that, we'll put my fresh opinion there, is that I enjoyed it. I played it through completely, and I didn't feel as if it was badly paced. I felt like I was learning new things, seeing new things, exploring the world, and truly being immersed in the realms. So I'm peachy on all of it. Anything to add, Josh or Jalen, before we move on?
I forget the name, but I was reading a guy on Twitter. He's a game developer talking about Callisto Protocol and just like other AAA games in general. Mm-hmm. That a lot of people are expecting the games to be like perfect, in every way, and not just perfect, but just like every game should be, like you said, like God of War, and that's kind of and even with God of War, it's the same thing where every aspect of the game has to be perfect, and from a reviewer standpoint, and when it's something that's not that maybe they don't like, or it's just like a little weird, or why they do it like this and why else doesn't do it like this, they feel the need to like really emphasize like this game is like terrible for it, in which some things, a lot of things are subjective, and there's no way to like really uh, say that. But just like Callisto Protocol, like the game is terrible because of the combat system, uh, and not really actually giving the combat system a really objective, fair shot or understanding. Just doesn't. I personally don't agree with. So like you said, I look to reviews to get other people's opinions. Like just like my friends, like I actually like, do you like Sonic? How you feel about it? Doesn't mean I'm necessarily gonna buy it or not buy it based on your opinion, but it helps me get a understanding on what the game is and how I might, judge it. Like maybe it's a good time to buy it or I should wait because it doesn't run well. But yeah, I personally, I just don't take reviews as like 100% objective. Like this is what the game is, this is what it's not. So
Yeah,
just I guess be more open about it.
Absolutely. I think I listen to it for the opposite. I listen for the facts. That's why I like the technical reviews a lot, because the fact is that the combat system got you through the game. There was no technical hitch that caused you not to be able to use the combat system. So when I look at stuff like that and they were like, oh, we added aerial combat into God of War, I say, cool. When I played it, there wasn't that much aerial combat. There was a lot of variety in how I went to bat to fight, but it wasn't like truly a lot of aerial combat. When you did get it off, though, it was fun, but it wasn't like, ooh, so dramatically different because you get to jump on top of a cliff and fight somebody up there and then come back down and fight somebody on the ground, or jump back down and slam on them. So that's not really aerial combat to me. That's not aerial combat, but I listened for the facts. They say that they had this and this is what it was and blah, blah, blah. But opinion jumps on top of it, of course, and then you kind of get persuaded to think otherwise, which is fine because that helps. But honestly, when I'm looking for reviews and things like that, I want to learn a little bit more about the systems, the combat, maybe the voice acting, whether or not the soundscape is well done, or if it's terrible. But it's truly more of a what is in the game type of situation, and then I kind of go from there. But yeah, like Need for Speed Unbound, I haven't really watched a review yet. I obviously didn't pay for it yet, but I'm going to play it, and I just haven't had the time yet. But it's kind of the same thing. It's just weird. But let's move on before I keep talking. Pokemon Scarlet got an update. Another one got an update, like Gotham Knights. Both of these got updates. Josh, you said that Gotham Knights had fixed some things, right?
Yeah, the main thing when it came out is another Unreal Engine 4 game which has stuttering issues, but more specifically with the PC version, it's an open world game, and I don't know how they like divided up the game with like loading and stuff. But every few feet or whatever, you go 50 feet, has to load the next area and it'll hitch. So you'll be running at 60 and it drop down to 20, and like there's nothing you can like do about it because it's an open world game. The single player levels pretty much ran fine because you're like in a single building. Whatever they did in a more recent patch, for me, it runs a lot better in the open world.
Okay.
I don't have as many hitches when like driving around on the bike really fast, and like on foot combat, everything runs smoothly, and I have like the ray tracing and everything, pushing the graphics. So that's good. It's been about a month since the game came out, and they just dropped their like content patch for like their 4-player co-op mode. Right. So I think it's in a lot better place for people who want to play it, especially play with your friends. It would have been better to launch like this. That's always the issue. Like, why does anybody have to wait a month for the game to run well?
Right.
Especially with a lot of comment issues.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, Pokemon didn't fix anything. I think it updated and did like something, but it didn't really fix anything. I was trying to see if Gotham Knights actually updated anything on the Xbox and things, but I don't believe that was the case. I think it still kind of runs the same. I think there was some fixes
mhm.
on like some of the glitches that were happening, bugs really, but not nothing that was like technically sound that would fix how the performance, because it's normally at that 30 frames per second. I mean, it's capped at that. So, I mean, there's nothing there that kind of fixed that point of it. But at least they're working on bugs, working on things, and they're actually adding new content. Because I've seen the free content update. And at some point down the line, if they add a 60 FPS mode, I might pick it up. I mean, I might pick it up if it's like $20 for sure, because it wouldn't really be like a big deal for me at that point. But Pokemon didn't do that, and I'm trying to understand the level of these updates and the timing of everything. Like, updates are becoming more and more like, I mean, obviously they've been common. It's like it's just now it's like in a worse space where the updates sometimes are necessary for the game to even run in a proper manner. Day two updates, okay, I understand that for a single player game that people are highly anticipating, they're not going to wait until the update comes out to play. So I just want really these companies to start emphasizing making sure their game runs well before they put it out. I don't even care if if it's missing a mechanic. I'd rather the game run well than have all the mechanics in place, because it just seems like this is like it's getting out of hand, man. We can't even anticipate and play these games day one because we know that there may be something down the line that we have to be concerned about. Pre-ordering is dead for me at this point. I don't pre-order anything anymore. I don't feel comfortable pre-ordering anything. After the last 4 games I've pre-ordered that have turned into crap, I just don't. I don't trust it. I don't trust it no more, and that trust level is going to continuously get broken until at the point where you're not going to have the ability to show your upfront cost of what you're going to reap when you first get it, because nobody wants to buy your game like that. Nobody wants to buy it in that state. And PC is even worse. Like, you got the 2-hour window to return it, though. I understand that. And that should be concerning to them. Like, they got 2 hours to play some of my game and then return it back to me. And they don't care. They just still put it out with stuttering issues. They still put it out with bugs and janky stuff happening. And I really wish that was the key focus moving forward. Like, anything from all of these updates that you want to take away from the Callisto Protocol situation, the Cyberpunk situation, it's just wait till your game is ready. I don't think Callisto Protocol wasn't ready. I think that was just an unfortunate event of maybe how it was published, because the fact that they had that stuff ready day 2 means that they already probably implemented these things, and that when it got published, I know a lot of people are saying that when they publish it on these companies, they don't put everything that they want the company to have day one on there, so they have to patch it. And that could be the case, because the fact that they had to turn it around on day 2 tells me that they were ready. Gotham Knights, on the other hand, having months and months, and they didn't have the stuttering problem fixed. They just told you to replay the game after you play it the first time, tells me that they did not have everything ready. So there's a difference in like the company and what they value and what they want to portray themselves as. It still sucks when it's not the day one. So I just know that that should be like, as a huge focus for me moving forward. It's just making sure that these companies are being held accountable for their trash, because it's really starting to get exhausting not being able to play these games. I don't expect that to happen with Final Fantasy, but it could. I mean, you guys could be playing some garbage, but let's see. But I didn't really have too much on the updates. All I had was that Gotham Knights seems to have fixed some of its issues on PC. Pokemon has not. We're going to leave that to the modders and the emulators to fix the game, I guess, because it ain't coming from Nintendo, or not Nintendo, the Pokemon company. Let me stop associating Pokemon with Nintendo, because Nintendo ain't got nothing to do with it outside of publishing it. But they should still.
You know, they said they committed to fixing it. We'll see how long that lasts.
Who said that?
Pokemon Company.
Oh, they committed to fixing that game. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We'll see. You know, they got the game coming out in a year. So.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Well, moving on to the final portion of it, I know we wanted to talk about a little bit about cross-platform play, but then the movies. So I think we're gonna switch that to the movies first, and cross-platform play on Warframe. The Guardians of the Galaxy trailer and the Super Mario movie trailer. You watched both or just one, Josh?
Yeah, I seen both.
All right. Let's get this out the way real quick. I have no problems with Mario's voice. Chris Pratt is fine. Stop complaining about stuff that don't need to be complained about. I understand people have this idea of what Mario should sound like based off of 2-second sound bites that he say, but stop it. He doesn't have to be this. It's like, as long as he embodies what Mario is, I don't think the voice needs to be in Italian or like this fake Italian that they've created, because this is not real, like an Italian sounding man. This is a caricature of what Italians should sound like. Because trust me, ain't nobody that made Mario Italian. So leave it alone. It's like the weirdest situation ever. It's like they just fail to realize that sometimes things don't need to be the same as it was. And for all intents and purposes, it could be a little offensive. I ain't gonna hold you. But, I mean, I guess they don't care because of nostalgia. Whatever. Anyways, Super Mario movie looks absolutely amazing. I already said that the first one. But this one even looked even better. We had Peach, we had Donkey Kong, we had they was on Rainbow Road. I'm talking about they were showing a lot of the realms or like the places they were gonna go, like you said,
exactly
Josh. Exactly what you said, Josh. They showed it. They said, "Oh, we're gonna take y'all everywhere." So I was like, "Oh shoot!" They really just told Josh, "Shut up." He said, "Sit down, boy. This is what we want. This is what we was gonna hold off on this one." I was like, "That's exactly what he said," and your points were valid too. I mean, that's in. I'm not saying like you didn't have a point, but that is exactly what they are look like they're going to be doing, is kind of going to all the different galaxies, because she was even mentioning, I think she mentioned it. I don't remember if she mentioned it completely, but I thought she said you have to save these worlds or realms. She mentioned something of going to different places, and then they kind of showed it off. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I think that's going to be one of the top 10 movies, probably top 5 movies for me next year, for sure. But yeah, that was Super Mario. Anything?
It looks really good. Yeah, like I was saying, I just want them to do, like, Mario has a lot of fun, interesting games, and you know, really reach in and bring out all that fun content and not make it a generic movie, which is good. I personally, like you said, I don't like Chris Pratt's choice as Mario, but it's not bad. Like, if it was a bad voice actor, you know, then I would really be like, you know, y'all can't put this out. But if it's not my preference, it's fine. It can still be like a fun movie. So hopefully it is.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think it's just more so. It's the concept in your head versus reality of the situation. I think the concept in your head is telling you that Chris Pratt is just not. It's just too American, and I get it, but Mario being fictional, he had some voice actors in the past. I believe they were referencing something that happened like in the 90s or whatever. But at the end of the day, this is a mass production. I just don't see them getting away with the Italian food. I just don't. But I mean, they could. I mean, it's Mario. People understand it, but I just don't. I don't see them getting away with it. He can have his
It'd
phrases.
be fine if they got like a Italian actor, but ain't nobody, I don't know, mainstream with like a strong Italian accent. So,
No, there isn't. There's not. I haven't heard any. Not like Mario, anyway, to the point where I feel like it wouldn't be offensive. Like, it's a caricature. There is not a true voice to me of an Italian, but I mean, it could be. It could be. But I just didn't find it. I didn't find it to be like a real portrayal. So, but whatever. But outside of that, I think it's gonna be good. The next one was Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was the Volume 3 trailer. There's a lot of stuff going on. I didn't know who half them people were. That the guy that the gold face guy. Who is that?
Yeah, Adam Warlock. As far as I know, I don't actually know a lot about him, but he's from the comics and somebody who's like, he's not a good guy, but he helps like fight against Thanos and stuff like that. So he's just supposed to be like a strong character that hopefully doesn't cause so many problems for them.
And who is the black guy? Do you know who that was?
Him, I don't know anything about. He's the High Evolutionary. I don't know his character. I'm pretty sure he's just a bad guy. Yeah, that's all I know.
All I know from that trailer is somebody gonna die. That's what I figured. I figured somebody dying.
Could be.
I think it's Rocket. I'm pretty sure it's Rocket.
Rocket or Drax, because he don't like Disney, so they're probably gonna ask his contract at some point.
Because he wouldn't even do it unless James Gunn came back, right? I think that was the one that did that. Yeah, where James.
It was that, and just like other stuff that he like, vocal about, like how Disney is and stuff.
Gotcha. So yeah, they don't like Dave Bautista. But yeah, I thought it was entertaining. The trailer anyway. Thought it's gonna be a fun, interesting one. I think it's gonna be probably the biggest release in 2023, in my opinion, and it's probably gonna be the one that holds a lot of weight for the connection and connecting everything to. It might. I don't think the other ones are even prepared to do that. I mean, Ant-Man?
Yeah, it's just Guardians and Ant-Man. Yeah, because they got the guy from Loki in it. He's supposed to be around for a long
Which
time.
one do you think gonna be more relevant in like the whole overarching thing? Like this, how Black Panther was just about Wakanda. Do you think Ant-Man or?
I think Guardians might have some stuff, but in the past they've usually just been their own stories. Like you might see important characters like Thanos in the story, but it's not like about Thanos. So the people that's in this one, I don't think I'll say they're not relevant yet. They might be relevant in the future. Like it's still important to see, but it's not like, yeah.
I'm trying to remember when was we introduced to Thanos. I don't even remember.
In the Avengers.
In the original Avengers, when we were fighting. Okay.
Yeah, because Loki was like talking to him. He just helped out Loki, but that was about it.
Yeah, his character design was a little bit different back then. But yeah. Okay. Well, I think those. I mean, we got some good movies coming out, but I definitely want to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I definitely want to talk about Super Mario. Them holding whole Nintendo Directs for this tells you everything you need to know about them and how they milk everything.
It's a big deal for Nintendo.
It's a big deal for Nintendo, and to let them, play around in their whole worlds, all their worlds, and all the stuff they create for Mario, it's dope. I wonder if they're gonna have some Mario Party references and tennis or soccer. Like I don't know what they're gonna make him do, but it looked like freaking Mario was being trained. Like he was training, like he was the piranha plants. Like he wasn't aware of any of this stuff. So I'm just like, are they really gonna give us an origin story for Mario? Like how he actually got into the world of Mushroom Kingdom? Like, okay, I see that. I can see that. And then they're gonna actually start taking us to different locations, which is cool. So both of those things I never seen before, so I'm excited, like real excited about it. Like I never seen him being introduced to the world. I just know he was there and he knew how to jump on people's heads. He knew how to ride the pipes and he knew where everything was and how everything went. So, be interesting to see him being introduced to the world of the Mushroom Kingdom, to the world of Mario. So yeah, that'd be cool. But the last thing was and it's probably the quickest thing, was the cross-platform play for Warframe. Josh, you said you was waiting on something else, correct?
Yeah, so they announced cross-platform and cross-save and stuff like a while ago, like more than a year ago.
Okay.
And yeah, so for me, like any online multiplayer game, they have to have crossplay and cross save because I'm not being stuck to one system anymore. So Warframe was one of those games. They have a lot of updates I want to play, but I haven't. But this first half of what they did, they finally came out with cross play between all consoles and PC. So if you have friends on another system, they can play together. They said they're going to slowly roll out I think the Switch as well. They said that they're going to slowly roll out all features. So right now you can play together, but you can't do everything. They can't trade between Switch and like PC and stuff yet. But they're going to roll that out over time. And then eventually they'll bring out the cross save so that you can just bring your stuff over on any platform. It's okay. For me, it's kind of like too late waiting for them to actually put cross save. Same thing with Apex. That's part of the reason I don't touch it as much because maybe I want to play it on a Steam Deck, but I don't want to start over. So I think it's just a standard at this point. All multiplayer co-op games or whatever should have cross save.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what's the hold up, what's taking so long with Warframe, but
and that's exactly how I feel about Apex. Yeah, I wish. Just like Overwatch, I wish they had a Steam Deck release. I don't really like having to build them shaders every time I want to play it. I don't know if they fixed it yet, but they might have a mod where you can just like have it already like compiled. But I haven't seen it. I think you have to build it every time. So I as of right now, I don't play it on my Steam Deck, but I would like to because I can just play it anywhere. But then I would still have to deal with no aim assist. So never mind. It's never happening. Overall, crossplay is something that should be there at the beginning, so that you set the tone. Crossplay, when it's added later, it's like a little too late at this point. Even cross save is even worse, because you lose out on the people that would want to play elsewhere that can't, and sometimes there is no option for them to continue to play where they used to, or they don't want to start over elsewhere, so they just don't play your game until they feel as comfortable to move to that next system or whatever. So I mean, I've seen it go both ways, where sometimes it helps, sometimes it don't. I feel like Destiny had a much better community when it was on the consoles only. I think the PC kind of screwed it up. But now that everything is all together and everything is like all over the place in Destiny, I feel like it has some good and bad. So whatever the case may be, and however they want to implement it, I do think crossplay and cross save should be across at least console platforms if it's going to be a console exclusive. If it's not, then also PC as well. Like that has to be mandatory between systems at least. But definitely between PC and consoles as well would be a great added bonus. I don't know why I always felt like that, but I always felt like that. I don't know why, but I felt like once people had the opportunity to kind of switch to the PC and they started to have different type of saves, and people would want to move to PC, but they didn't have cross save and implemented. So you had to choose either to start over. It kind of discombobulated the entire community, and some of the community was like, it just never recovered from that blow first. So, and that's just my opinion. That community is toxic already enough, but it wasn't as bad as it is now, sort of. But yeah. That's about it though. I don't really have any much else. Have y'all I wonder I don't think I've ran into I think I ran into it once on Destiny where they're like, you gotta be on PC to do this. You can't play with us if you don't you got a PC. I don't think that was the only time I ever seen something where they was like glitching something, or they were like doing something like the DPS on something, it required precision. So they really put a requirement that you had to be a PC player. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, everybody can see that for like, competitive modes and stuff. If you're on PC, you should be using keyboard and mouse, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that before. That's why I kind of.
But yeah, overall, for me, it's just about, this is what's best for consumers. Like, they spending money on your platform, and if you lock in their account to one place for no reason, and consoles change over time. Not everybody is buying a PS5 right away, and they should be able to use their product wherever they're at. And as the service provider, I think that's a bare minimum they should be able to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that's important for real. Like it has just deterred me from playing certain games, and it has made me actually play games because of the ability to play it in multiple locations. Like I like Modern Warfare just for that reason alone. And I'm talking about more so Warzone than Modern Warfare. But yeah, even though you can play it anywhere and still have the same experience and same stuff because it's like a sign-in. But yeah, that's all I got. I ain't really got much else. Anything you want to add or say before we get out of here, Jalen or Josh?
Oh, nice. That's it for me.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get up out of here, y'all. I want to thank y'all for listening. We're going to try to come back with some more topics for you guys next week as usual. These drop every Monday, so if you're interested in listening, you can always check it out on your podcast location, wherever you listen to. If you got to this point of the show, you're the real OG. I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening, and we will be back with you guys shortly next Monday. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Fortnite? Oh, no, not Fortnite. Overwatch. No, not Overwatch. Callisto? No, Callisto. I might play some Need for Speed. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.